and she said, I might get emotional doing this. What the hell? She said, I need you to put me on speaker so that Kyler can hear what I say as well. And she said, you have a cancerous tumor in your head called a chordoma, and it has to come out immediately. I'm sending over an emergency referral, and we need to get this out. As soon as she said, this has to come out immediately, I sort of shut down, and I don't remember a whole lot, but I do remember Googling it. She's like, do you want me to spell it so you can do some research or something? And I Googled it. I just Googled chordoma, and I read the immediate Google pop-up, and I walked away. And so, with COVID and everything the way it was, they didn't know what my surgery date would be. And so they said, you kind of just have to quarantine until we know. That was November 2nd was the day that I found out about the tumor growing at the base of my brain, trying to press my brainstem and kill me. So within a week, I met with my neurosurgeon and my ENT. My ENT has honestly been the best doctor I've had. I still see him every 3 months. And that was like the start of my life changing and the person I was dying, because I no longer would see things the same way anymore. I don't have the same outlook on life that I used to. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that we didn't find it when I went to the urgent care, because that was right before COVID. So, like, I feel like as soon as I would have started the whole process of getting a surgery and everything, like, shit would have hit the fan. No, it's more of like right here. I'm sorry. Right here. I didn't mean to flip y'all off. It is between my eyes, and it's like a brain freeze feeling right here, because where it's technically located is right here. So it's not like the back or base of my head. So that's why they were able to go through my nose, and it was less invasive. But it was basically something that was about this big. I looked at it and I was like, they said it was 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters, and I was like, that's not very big. But if you think about it, there's nothing supposed to be in this space next to your brainstem. So the fact that there was something that large pressing on it was like, oh, I guess that thing was trying to kill me. Yeah, that's why I'm like the smidgenest thankful that they didn't find it in February, but I am it was rough. It was gone through my nose. The ENT actually found I had a deviated septum, so he fixed that while he was in there. But they went through my nose, had to drill through into my brain and take it out that way. They actually had to take a little chunk out of my belly, so like I have this nice big ass scar. So they had to take like the fat out and put it where that tumor was, so that it could heal properly. And yeah, so they pulled it out my nose in pieces. So I think Katie was like, did you ask to keep it? And I'm like, or someone asked if I asked to keep it. And I was like, they had to pull it out in a whole bunch of tiny pieces. I have gallbladder ones too. They start up here, 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 and I have 2 on my belly button. One's from the gallbladder, and then I have 2 on each side of my hip from my endometriosis surgery. So I have all of my scars are on my belly. So like, yeah, you want to see my brain surgery scar? And I start pulling up my shirt. They're like, whoa, wait, what? Yeah, my gallbladder was dysfunctional. Oh yeah, belly button. Like, I have 2. I have one long ways, one across the top, so you really can't tell. But then I have one long ways down this way from my endometriosis procedure. So my belly button is just like funky now. Belly button itchy. My gallbladder one, it didn't want to heal right, so luckily I have my stepsister is a nurse, and I had her come over and look at it. And that was like 2018, so like no COVID was ever a possibility at that point. Ugh. Yeah, see, mine wasn't an emergency thing. Mine was, I was not eating and I was throwing up bile every single day. Every single morning, I would start my morning off with, oh, let me go vomit some bile. So, like, they checked to see, like, I didn't have any stones, but when they checked to see if it was working, it was at, like, 26% functionality. Ooh, the first poop after my gallbladder removal, after my brain surgery, well, a nurse talked. One of the nurses, I was in the hospital by myself for 4 days. So, like, there was a month of, I think it was about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks that they had no idea when they could get the surgery scheduled. But then they were like, okay, we have a date, December 10th. And then I had to take 2 COVID tests and like before it. And then I had to basically completely quarantine a week to 2 weeks beforehand. So like the week before I didn't go to work, stayed home basically, and I had to stay alone in the hospital for 4 days because the COVID numbers were up. So Kyler couldn't even, no one could come see me or anything. So my mom picked me up and dropped me off at the hospital at 5 o'clock in the morning. And on December 10th, and Kyler came and got me December 13th on his birthday. And it was snowing. And he had to take me back to the ER 2 days later. So it was fun. It was so much fun. But yeah, the brain surgery, the surgery went, it was successful. It was a 4.5-hour surgery. But I did have a major spinal fluid leak during the surgery, and so they had to put a balloon into my head, and like I had a tube coming out of my nose, like that just held everything in place. So